Sairam, everyone. A very, very warm Sairam to all who are listening just now. Thank you to Swami for giving me this opportunity yet again to talk and to share my experience with all of you. The best thing about sharing experiences is that you relive the whole situation again, and you remind yourself of all the learnings that life and that situation has given you. So thank you to everybody to give me this opportunity to relive my experience and to remind myself of the learning that was given to me at that point of time. So this time I want to start with an experience by saying that every time Swami doesn't always give all the good things, right? Sometimes he gives us situations and experiences which we would not like at that point of time. But there is always a bigger picture which we at that point of time are not able to understand. And that's where this experience starts. So this was, I don't even remember the year now, but it is long time back when, one proposal, a marriage proposal had come for me. And mummy and me went to Puttaparthi. We took the photograph of the boy. He was from Bombay. He was working in a bank. And, we went to Parthi for Swami's blessings and, needed a go-ahead from him. We were sitting in the front lines. Swami came, blessed us, blessed the photograph, and went away. And of course, we took that as a yes from Swami. And, we started getting into the preparations and everything. Before this, from this situation, I would just step a little bit backwards where I met the boy. When I met the boy, I was clueless. I would say I was stupid. I didn't even know how to behave or what to think at that point of time. I was not mentally prepared for a marriage at all. And but of course, because it is the way things have to go, I was quite old. I got married very late actually. So of course my family was very, very willing to, see me getting married. And so when I met the boy, I was excited as a young girl usually is. But, there was no chemistry between the two of us. I was just flowing along because that is what I thought was expected out of me. There was no communication between us. There was nothing I could share with him or I could understand him. And but I still played along. And the whole thing, after Swami blessed the photograph and we came back, we started really preparing for the wedding in a big way, to the point that the date was fixed. And we got our clothes done, the ceremonies were all organized and everything. But there was always this fear in me. But I would always, think, oh, it's just the marriage jitters and whatever. And I just kept it in myself. I think I kept it within myself because I didn't even realize what they were. And I just kept moving to the day when the next day was the wedding. And that the family, friends and the relatives and everybody started, especially the people who were coming from outside, started coming in, and they were at some of them were at my place. And especially Suri uncle and Shakti auntie, they were also at my house at that point of time. And suddenly my brother-in-law, he came and he said, he collected everybody and he said, I want to talk. And we all came together. And he just suddenly said that I will not take his name, but he said that this guy called me in the morning yesterday, and he said he wants to call off the wedding. And he was of course taken aback. We were all taken aback. He said, then I took a flight straight away to Bombay, went to meet him, and he in very clear words said that he is not comfortable with this wedding and he doesn't want to take it forward, so he called it off. And then of course when he was telling this to us, all of us were completely shattered, especially my parents. They were completely shattered after hearing this news. And I started crying also, but everybody thought that I am crying because I'm sad. But within me, I was so relieved. I was so relieved. At that point of time, I actually realized what I was going through, what I was not ready for. I didn't have the guts or the realization to go ahead and tell to my parents that, there is something not right here. That excitement, that happiness is not coming to me. Instead, there is this fear within me. And I did not say this to them because I did not understand it myself. But at that point of time, when he told us that, the wedding has been called off, at that point of time, when I was crying, I was relieved. I was so relieved. I was thanking Swami. More than Swami, I think I was thanking that person for calling it off. And nobody understood why I was actually crying. Everybody felt really sorry, and I was so happy that I couldn't even explain to anybody that I am so relieved. But I was so thankful to that person, and to this date I am so thankful to that person that he took it upon himself to become a bad person in the eyes of so many people, I'm sure in front of his family as well. But he took a call what he really felt inside. And I think if I ever meet him again in my life, I will not stop thanking him. So the whole idea of sharing this experience was that Swami blessed the photograph, blessed us, giving us a green signal to go ahead with it, only because he, whatever karmas I had to go through, I had to go through. There was no other way. There is no other way to make a shortcut and take a detour from our karmas. It cannot be. But Swami made it so easy for me that nothing came on me, but I still got out of the situation and overcame that karma. So Swami has his ways of doing things. In the end, everything is always for our best. So sometimes, when things don't go according to what we have planned or what we want, don't take it as, Swami is not listening to our prayers. He is. He always is. But there is a bigger picture which we cannot see. So we just have to keep the faith and just play along according to what Swami is leading us to. So that was one thing which I have really learned, and I wanted to share with you, and I hope you can take the best parts from this experience. Also, I would like to share that when Swami took the samadhi, I think it is not only me, a whole lot of people were very, very attached to his physical form. I was very attached to his physical form. Like, I could not think of him. I either needed a picture of him, I would look at his photograph, and I would talk to him. I would listen to his bhajans and imagine him in my mind. And of course, I used to make very, very frequent trips to Parthi, just because I love that physical figure. So when Swami took the samadhi, of course, I started missing him a lot. And, anything, I was like a spoiled child of Swami. Anything which would not happen, it could be a very small thing, and I would say, Swami is not listening to me, he's not there anymore, kind of a thing. And somehow, this is fast forward now. Actually, I did get married, and to a lovely person. And there was some problem or some misunderstanding, not a problem, but some misunderstanding also from my side towards with my in-laws. And this situation became so big in my mind that I was so desperate to solve this situation that I started looking for different ways and means to overcome this problem. And along the way came Buddhism. I was introduced to Buddhism from my from my husband's side, and also a lot of friends and family were telling me about it. But when I was introduced to Buddhism, I took to it as a fish takes to water. I loved the chanting. I loved the the gatherings, the motivational talks, the study, and everything which was involved in it, because they kind of wrap you around completely with all these things. You don't, there is a chanting we have to do in the morning and evening and any other time that we get. It is up to our heart's content whenever we want to chant. There are regular studies about the principles, about the whole concept of Buddhism. There are meetings with fellow members and everything. So they really kind of wrap you around with all of this. So there is no time where if you ever have any problem in your mind, you just run to either or. You either study, you either chant, or you just call out to your fellow members. So you feel very, very protected. And I think that was the time which I really need at, especially when physical Swami was not there. And I was not able to understand his presence otherwise. And I remember so clearly when I was sitting after finishing one of the Buddhist meetings, and I just thought to myself that if this big family misunderstand, that time I did not take it as a misunderstanding. I said, if this family problem gets solved, and if I can treat my in-laws the same way as I treat and love my own parents, I will trust this philosophy completely. And after that, my whole thought process as if changed, on its own. I would come and sit with them without any preconceived notions of how I have to talk and how I have to behave. And I was just being my true self. And, I just, as if completely all the incidences that had happened with them before was erased from my memory, from my mind. And I was as if first time coming in contact with my in-laws, and just being the person I am. And of course the things changed because I changed. My whole perspective changed. And when my perspective changed, they changed automatically. And so this is one of the principles which is in the Buddhist philosophy, which I learned, is that when you change yourself, everything around you will change. If you change negatively, everything around you will become negative. You will see negativity in everything, in every relationship, in every situation. But if you become positive inside, everything in your environment, in your relationships, in the environment will become positive. And though I would say I would not the credit of doing anything on my own. It was some universal powers which just took over me and just changed my thought process completely, which as a result changed my environment. And my relationship with them, touchwood, has been so beautiful since then, that I can truly say that I love them as my own parents. It is so beautiful. So I feel that Swami had kind of handed me over to Buddhism, because since he was not there physically, he handed me over to something which I could understand at that point of time. And also, I joke around that it was like sending me to a boarding school. When you're at home, you're in the support of your family, your parents and your sisters and everybody, and you can throw all your tantrums, they will listen to you. But when you're sent off to a boarding school, you have none of that, and you have to realize your own self. You have to go through your own thoughts. You have to go deep inside yourself. You have to talk to yourself to understand what is out there and how you have to deal with it. So I would say that I was sent to boarding school when I took up Buddhism, because I started dealing with my own feelings, my own thoughts, my own environment, and how my thoughts were, what kind of thoughts I was getting because of that environment, and were they correct, were they not correct, how I could react, or whether I reacted to it or responded to it. It was all in my hands. So this whole talking to my internal self was the starting point when I got into Buddhism. So I cannot thank Buddhism enough, because it has made me what I am now today. I was a very, very complex person. It gave me a lot of confidence. It gave me self-acceptance. I think that is the biggest thing. With whatever flaws or positives I have, I think it's very, very difficult to accept your own flaws. But I learned to look at my own flaws very, very clearly in the mirror, and try to work on it. So that was a huge learning. And of course, there are tons of other experiences which Buddhism has given me, because of which my faith and belief in the superpower is immense. And also, we all know that there is one God, but there can be so many different paths to him. But we always forget, we always think of, if like me at that point of time, I was following Swami, but Buddhism came my way and I took that path. But and that's what a lot of us do also, that if we are in a situation and we are not able to crack it, we will jump to something else, hoping that route can kind of fix the problem. And that's absolutely okay, because the paths can be different. God is one, the destiny is one. So it really doesn't matter what religion, what philosophy, what mantras, or whoever or which idol you pray to. It all takes us to the same universal power. And also, the only important thing is to really have faith in whatever you are doing, because without faith, there can be nothing. Even in a doctor, if you go to a doctor and you don't have faith in that person, that he's going to cure you, it is absolutely no use. Even if he gives you all the medication and you don't have the faith that this medication is going to cure me, it is not going to cure me, even if it is the right medicine. So faith in whatever you are doing, whoever you are following, whichever religion you are following, or whichever idol you are following, it really doesn't matter. Just do everything, pray to him with complete heart, with complete faith. And I think one should take a step ahead and think that whatever you are praying for has already happened. That is one thing which has really helped me in actually manifesting it. That is what all manifestation means, that if you want something, you just imagine in your mind, not just fakely imagining, but believe in that imagination that it has happened, it has already happened. Example, you want a car, you want to buy a car, and so you just imagine in your mind that the car is parked outside your door. You imagine the color of the car, what model of car it is, how the windows are, is it a old model, is it a new model, is it automatic, it is a manual, whatever, to the minutest detail. Think about that thing, that it has already happened. And trust me, the universe will come together to really manifest it for you, because whatever thoughts you are putting it out in the universe is being received, is being acted upon. So if you take leave positive thoughts in the environment, positivity is what you're going to get. So have complete faith in yourself and complete faith in the play of God, because he only wants the best of us and best for us. And if sometimes things do not happen the way we want it, there is a bigger picture, there is more growth which is required for us to undergo. And that is why the process is more important, because that is the growth time, growth period for us. Once we've reached the destination, of course that is a very beautiful thing, but the process is which is really, really important. And we should really take it as a growth. And all these difficult situations really come to us because there is some growth which has to happen, some messages, some learnings that we have to have. It is just that we have to have that balanced mind at that point of time when we are in deep trouble. Hold on to Swami's hand, and he will lead us to the right path. Thank you so much. It was really beautiful, really talking about my experience. It has again revived all my learnings while talking to you, and hopefully we'll come back again and talk to you soon. Thank you so much for taking out the time and listening to me. Sai Ram.